The FFAR is by far the best gun in Warzone. Today I will share the complete FFAR weapon guide and I will prove why the FFAR is a new king of Warzone. We will check out the actual weapon stats, the bullet patterns and all the other details that will give you an advantage on your way to another victory. The FFAR is a French bullpup assault rifle. It is chambered for 5.56 times 45mm NATO ammunition. If you think it's weird how this AR is shaped with its magazine behind the trigger, well, that's just how bullpup assault rifles are designed. It's designed to be compact and shorter, but it will still pack the punch of a normal assault rifle. But then again, is it really an assault rifle in Warzone? The FFAR standard magazine capacity is 25 bullets. We all know that 25 bullets isn't enough for Warzone, and luckily you can improve this number with the right attachments, but more on that later. Let's first start off with the stats. The FFAR has an incredibly fast rate of fire of 900 rounds per minute. The rate of fire is faster than the rate of fire of most assault rifles in the game. It's on par with the M13 with also 900 rounds per minute, and only the FR 5.56 beats it with 1250 rounds per minute, but that weapon has a few other issues. The bullet velocity is relatively low for an AR with 628 meters per second, but we will improve that later in this video. It will take 238 milliseconds for the FFAR to aim down sights. This is relatively long. An AR like the Grau can ADS in only 221 milliseconds. The reload time is okay with 2.48 seconds, but it doesn't mean that it's fast. On the contrary, because the Grau can reload in 2.15 seconds. The FFAR deals 45 damage for headshots, 33 for chest shots and 30 for stomach and limb shots. In terms of damage per individual bullet, it's definitely not the best weapon out there. There are a lot of assault rifles that can easily beat those numbers, but because the FFAR's fast rate of fire, it can deal more damage in a shorter period of time. If you go for headshots, you'll only need 333 milliseconds to kill, 467 milliseconds for chest shots and 533 milliseconds for stomach and limb shots. This is an incredibly good time to kill if you can constantly go for head and chest shots. As for bullets to kill, it only takes 6 headshots to kill, 8 chest shots and 9 stomach and limb shots. The basic weapon's damage drop-off point occurs at 36 meters. However, if you use the 19.5 inch reinforced heavy, this damage drop-off point will be extended to 46.8 meters, a 30% increase to your range. The downside of this barrel is a 20% slower ADS movement speed, but you will get a boost to the bullet velocity of 65%. So the velocity will go up from 628 to 1036.2 meters per second, which is very nice, because the faster your bullets reach your target, the faster you will die. It also speaks for itself that you won't have to lead your target as much when he is further away, making it easier for you to kill your next favorite victim. After 46.8 meters, your time to kill and shots to kill will go up, of course. At this range, it will now take 7 headshots or 10 chest, stomach or limb shots. And you will also need 445 milliseconds to kill with headshots. For chest, stomach and limb shots, the time to kill also increases to 645 milliseconds. Please note that from this range onward, that the time to kill for all body shots is now the same, so it doesn't matter if you shoot your opponent in the foot or in the neck. These time to kill numbers will still outperform most assault rifles, meaning that the FFAR is incredibly good. Unlike some other weapons in Warzone, the FFAR does not have a second damage drop-off point. You can extend your damage drop-off point further by another 1.8 meters if you decide to go for the 17.9 ultralight, but you won't be getting a boost to your bullet velocity, making the reinforced heavy the superior barrel. Having said that, there is another barrel that makes even more sense, but you won't be getting a range improvement. I know that this is a little bit contradictory, so let me explain. If we compare the FFAR's time to kill with the short range time to kill for some of the better SMGs like the MP5, MAC-10 and so on, then it will be extremely obvious that you should avoid those guns altogether. The MP5 has a short range time to kill of 526 milliseconds and the MAC-10 needs 538 milliseconds, but if you remember, the FFAR only needs 467 milliseconds, making it the superior weapon. On top of that, most SMGs have several damage drop-off points long before the first damage drop-off point of the FFAR at 36 meters. This only adds to the superiority of the FFAR. In other words, don't use an SMG, those days are over for now. So, we have established that the FFAR FFAR is a great short range gun. However, based on its time to kill alone, it's also a great long range gun. But there are other weapons out there that do great at longer ranges as well, and some of them are much easier to control. So, we will use our FFAR as our main short range gun, but I will show you in a follow-up video which weapons to pair with your short range FFAR, so make sure to subscribe so that you will be ahead of the pack. If you then use your FFAR as your main short range weapon, does it still make sense to use the reinforced heavy? Yes and no, it depends on the other gun, but also on a few other things. So instead you could use the 20.3 inch takedown. It doesn't add any range, but it adds 25% to the bullet velocity, which now becomes 785 meters per second. On top of that, your strafe speed will be improved, making it more difficult for your enemy to hit you. Remember, a stationary target is a dead target. The absolute best players out there, like Huskers, DSBiffle and so on, all use this particular barrel. Mainly for the reasons I just mentioned, but there is a catch. Compared to the reinforced heavy, you are sacrificing a few milliseconds of time to kill with the takedown, because your bullet velocity is slower. So all things being equal in a fair fight, the reinforced heavy will win at all ranges. On top of that, the damage drop-off point is much further away, again improving your time to kill. So why do these top players use the takedown instead? Well, that is because of the fact that the takedown matches their playstyle more, and they happily sacrifice the few milliseconds of time to kill for speed. You have to realize that the faster you move, the more difficult it becomes for the average person to kill you. On top of that, these guys play very aggressive. They do this naturally, but they also do this on purpose. Because until today, in video games, Peeker's advantage gives you a much bigger advantage than a few seconds of time to kill. So their playstyle easily compensates for the slower time to kill, making the takedown the best barrel for them. Add a few milliseconds for aggressivity, a few milliseconds for a Peeker's advantage, and a few milliseconds because they are more difficult to hit. This outweighs the few milliseconds of time to kill with the reinforced heavy. What about the other attachments? The Agency Suppressor is by far the best muzzle attachment. It adds 10% to your range, you get a 5% improvement on your vertical recoil and a 25% improvement on the bullet velocity, which is absolutely great. But the main downside is the 20 milliseconds penalty on the ADS time. And all of this gives you the ability to remain silent, keeping you off the minimap. Just for info, so that you know what other advantages you're getting. Most suppressed guns cannot be heard if you're more than 100 meters away depending on your audio settings. An unsuppressed weapon will show up on the minimap to everybody within 250 meters, and you can hear them from more than 500 meters away depending on the weapon itself. The Field Agent Grip will give you 7% better vertical recoil control and 15% better horizontal recoil control. All of this makes it easier for you to actually use this weapon. The best magazine attachment is the Salvo 50 round Fast Mag. Not only does it give you access to 50 bullets per magazine, which is very important in Warzone, it also improves your reload time from 2.48 seconds to 1.82 seconds, which is a pretty big difference. A sight or scope is not needed, because the iron sights of the FFAR are incredibly good, so pretty much everybody will be able to use those, which gives us access to another attachment slot. The Raider stock is another great addition to the FFAR, because it improves the sprint to fire time by 84 milliseconds and your tactical sprint to fire time by 117 milliseconds, which is incredible. And it also improves the ADS movement speed by 39%. Unfortunately, your hipfire accuracy will take a 60% hit. I've tried to max out the hipfire stats for the FFAR, but it's still terrible, so just avoid hipfire unless you really have to. And now we have one of the best loadouts available for the FFAR. Guys like DSBiffle and Huskers use this exact loadout for the reasons mentioned earlier. However, there is still something that we can do to improve our weapon further. I just checked and double checked the Airborne Elastic Wrap, and it has a few benefits that will balance out your weapon, because now you're looking at a sprint to fire time of 179 milliseconds and an ADS of 256 milliseconds. Ideally, these numbers are way too far apart. Luckily, we can improve the situation a little bit. If you're willing to let go of the takedown barrel and to use the Airborne Elastic Wrap instead, then you will get an improvement of 25 milliseconds on your ADS time, which now brings the total ADS time down to 231 milliseconds, but you will get a penalty on your sprint to fire time of 8 milliseconds, bringing that up to 187 milliseconds. These numbers aren't ideal yet, but they're definitely closer together, giving you access to a slightly better weapon. The downsides of letting go of the barrel are the lower strafe speed and the slower bullet velocity. Having said that, depending on your skills and playstyle, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. With the takedown, you have a time to kill of 507 milliseconds at 39.6 meters. Without the takedown, that time to kill will be 517 milliseconds, so you're looking at a 10 milliseconds time difference. The airborne elastic wrap gives you an improved ADS time of 25 milliseconds, so you will gain 15 milliseconds on an opponent with an FFAR at 39.6 meters. So the shorter the distance to your opponent, the bigger the gain if you're a player that always aim down sights before shooting. I encourage you to try it out for yourself and see what matches your playstyle the most. So check if you benefit more from a higher bullet velocity and strafe speed with the takedown, a better ADS time with the airborne elastic wrap, or do you personally benefit more from the improved damage range with the reinforced heavy. So definitely try this out, because you now know what everything does, and let me know in the comments what works best for you. To summarize, you now have an FFAR with the following stats if you use the best loadout with the takedown. Your ADS time became worse. It went up from 238 milliseconds to 256 milliseconds. Your tactical sprint to fire time got a massive boost, as it went from 392 milliseconds to 275 milliseconds. And the same goes for your sprint to fire speed, 263 to 179 milliseconds. Your ADS movement speed went up from 2.42 meters per second to 3.36 meters per second. Your reload time improved as well from 2.48 seconds to 1.82 seconds. Your bullet velocity went up from 628 meters per second to 981.25 meters per second. Your magazine size is now bigger with 50 bullets instead of only 25. Your vertical and horizontal recoil got better, but your hipfire got worse. All things considered, you now have a much better and optimized FFAR to take on everybody in Warzone. Now, what does that bullet pattern look like if you compare our original FFAR with our best loadout FFAR? Both patterns will follow a snake-like pattern with an initial movement to the top right, followed with a pull to the top left and then again to the top right. Our basic pattern is wider, so there is a bigger spread. The changeover points are also more violent, and our best loadout pattern is more consistent. In the next video, I will cover the best secondary weapon to pair with your FFAR. This is a video that you really have to see, because you will miss out if you don't. As soon as it's online, you can find the link in the top right corner, the video description, and I will also share a direct link in the outro. And by the way guys, the YouTube likes and comments are very helpful to me. If you think that this video is worthy, would you mind taking a moment to like and post a comment on this video? And if you haven't done so already, then make sure to subscribe. This was Fucked Up Gaming, thanks for watching, and I will see you in Warzone.